Welcome back to the Traders Network Show and our continued coverage of the 2019 Greenwich Economic Forum. I'm Matt Bird.
And I'm David Nelson.
We're here broadcasting worldwide from Greenwich, Connecticut. And David, you just made it in?
Yeah, I just walked in. I'm kind of astonished when I look around the room and I see some of these people. These are the titans of the financial community. And I got to ask you the question, because you've been here all day. You've been at some of these forums. You've listened to these guys speak. You listened to what Ray Dalio said. What's your biggest takeaway coming out of this?
Well, you know what? Public-private partnerships is what's driving the economic future, at least from a regional standpoint here in Connecticut. They are solely focused here on making sure that private organizations and private funds can be deployed both economically on the private sector, but also for a purpose of impact.
You can almost cut it with a knife. When you walk through this room, probably the word I've heard the most since I walked in is income inequality. What do we do about it? When you listen to a Ray Dalio, what are some of the solutions that are being offered to them?
You know what? That's actually stuff that's a little over my pay grade. And I was hoping you were going to come in and then tell me a little bit about from your side. But Ray Dalio, he had a very interesting perspective on it, and they have a number of humanitarian initiatives that are rolling out. I believe one of them is called Robin Hood or
Robin Hood organization. Sure,
correct.
Well known, about
Yes.
$184 million.
Yes,
it's pretty sizable.
It is pretty sizable. The governor commented on it. The mayor commented on it. I'm not too familiar with the organization to be able to speak to it.
From my point of view, my concern has been, how do you spell out income inequality? How do you redistribute wealth? And maybe the better opportunities is to introduce, the redistribution of opportunity, and that has to point to education. I would have thought that would have come up today.
Well, education did come up. Byron Allen actually did the keynote luncheon speech, and he talked about education. There is a bit of a gap that isn't being plugged, because education is what lifts communities out of poverty. Education is what gives people opportunities, but there needs to be adoption on the other side of it.
Right.
And so the question is even if education is presented, will it be adopted? And this has been a struggle with economic development in the past. And it seems like right now, corporations and governments are kind of coming together to bridge that gap, which is, if you provide the education on the governmental side, the private sector will provide and open up opportunities for job creation on this side.
The money is certainly there, and the money is being thrown at the problem. The question is the leadership there to take that money and run with it and do it in the right way.
The other question is how do you deploy those people who don't have incomes or are not sustainable on their own and reintegrate them into society?
Anyway, I've got to go around the room and check out what's going on.
Oh, I love it.
And meet some of these people. But it's great being here. I'm sorry I'm here so late.
No, David, listen, I'm glad you're here, because now I can stop and you can start.
Okay.
Listen, thanks, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You're watching the Traders Network Show. We'll be back right after these messages. Don't go away. More to come.
The 2019 Greenwich Economic Forum is brought to you by Bridgewater Associates. Meaningful work, meaningful relationships. Churchill Asset Management, Nuveen, a leading provider of senior and unitranche debt to middle market companies. Ropes & Gray, bright past, brilliant future. Aurora Capital, inspiring partnerships. And Gramercy Funds Management, we are emerging markets. Special considerations to Bank of America. Life's better when we're connected. Noah Private Wealth Management, a leading wealth and asset management service provider in China. Guotai Jinan Futures, a leading brokerage firm for commodity futures and financial futures in China. China Industrial Securities, a comprehensive financial group providing full spectrum financial services in Hong Kong. And Titan Advisors, built like a hedge fund. Special thanks to the Financial Times and Greenwich Business Institute for hosting us. And thank you to all the sponsors who helped make this event possible. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away.